All right, so I got one here on Love Island. I've never seen Love Island. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's about the production schedule or the insane production schedule, I guess. I don't know. I like half it's interesting. So
Today we're talking about Love Island. And it's not because I knew what a Nicolandria was until yesterday, I didn't, but because I just
I still don't.
found out how they make this thing, and I have to tell you. For the uninitiated, Love Island is a reality dating show that takes place in real time for several weeks with 6 new episodes every week. Fully edited, complete with music and narration, each coming out barely a day after their scenes happen IRL.
Wow,
It's
okay.
mind-boggling speed. Love Island USA Season 7 and Survivor Season 50 both filmed in Fiji at the exact same time, and the last of Love Island's 36 episodes aired on July 13th, 2025, while the first of Survivor 50's 15 or so episodes won't air until 2026.
Holy cow! An entire year difference? That is insane. That's crazy.
Love Island, in fact, comes out so fast that viewers can vote on what happens to the contestants one night and see the results play out the very next. It's like a real-life The Sims if The Sims was about building a bunch of horrifyingly beautiful people to sleep in one long, terrifying room. So it's exactly like The Sims. Anyway, we're delving into how the sausage gets edited. All the clever tricks, pre-planning, and round-the-clock and round-the-world processes that bring moments like this to viewers like you. First, a map. This video is going to be about Love Island USA with a hint of the original Love Island. The original airs in the UK, films in Mallorca, Spain, and gets edited in a pop-up production village nearby.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast, The Modern Wisdom, and the host apparently was on Love Island. A lot of that I didn't watch it, so yeah, I can't speak on that. But he's from the UK. That's how I know I thought the second one was also in the UK. I'll be 100% honest with you. Did not know it was somewhere else.
Sometimes in a field, sometimes in an old concrete factory. Love Island USA airs in the States and gets filmed and edited here in Fiji,
Oh, it's in the States. Okay.
19 time zones away. Both franchises use
I thought it was filmed in Fiji too. It's filmed in the States and edited in Fiji. Why do they send their foot? I guess they'll probably get into that.
the same narrator who records his voiceovers from the UK. Fun fact, I auditioned for that, but didn't get the gig because I couldn't say tonight forebodingly enough. Tonight. See? So let's travel the production pipeline, the details of which I am piecing together from articles about both the American and British versions. Take this moment from the last week of Love Island USA Season 7, the family visits. The contestants spend the morning with each other and their families around the villa, which has dozens upon dozens of remote-operated cameras capturing all the footage, and just a few operators controlling them all off-site. A representative subset of those camera feeds are piped into a big gallery by hordes of story producers, editors, and loggers who turn all that noise into a show as it's happening. Loggers transcribe conversations and store scenes in a searchable database for editors to draw on. They tried to get AI to do this, but accents and mic quality tripped it up, though that was a few years ago. They might have improved.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many people do they have working on this to be able to categorize everything like that? That's like that would take a lot of people. There's a lot of footage. I have no idea, but I'm thinking hundreds of people to be able to do that in the kind of timely manner that they're putting these episodes out. It's got to be a crazy amount of people that are going through these footage.
Meanwhile, story and edit producers pick what's interesting enough to polish up for the episode. So, for example, in this scene, contestant Olandria's mother tells her how the viewers at home liked her with fellow contestant Nick from the beginning. Off in the gallery, a story producer saw that and thought it fit nicely into Nick and Olandria's larger narrative and commissioned editors to cut it into a scene within just 15 minutes of it happening IRL. So in this case, we don't know how long these two chatted, but the editors were probably told what parts of the conversation the story producer liked, and probably had a couple-minute cut of the scene made before the families had even left. A team of about 20 producers and 30 editors do this all day. Then their scenes go to another team called the Stitch Team that puts them together into an episode with weigh-in from executive producers about which scenes are critical to key storylines and which ones they can cut to make room for more slow-mo shots of people entering rooms.
I guess it would make sense that they would keep tabs on it live and make notes and timestamps then. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I was thinking about people having to go through the footage on the back end, like after everything's said and done. But if they're doing it live, I guess it would slim it down quite a bit.
So by the time a day, or the time period covered by a single episode, ends, much of that episode has already been cut together. But that's just the first step in getting the episode out. There's still a lot to do before it's ready to air, and it's all happening overnight. Love Island is known for its soundtrack, which, rather than just being generic underscoring, uses a combination of well-known and completely unknown pop songs to add some extra emotional seasoning to their many, many scenes of people sitting, playing, and chatting. But of course, Love Island can't exactly request sync rights in advance because they don't know what's going to happen or what song they want to use until the day before they air, so their team works ahead. 3 months before anyone gets to Fiji, the music and clearance teams start working with labels to pre-clear hundreds, even thousands of songs to use if the occasion arises. All those songs get put in a big spreadsheet and tagged with what type of scene they might suit. Think romance, argument, or tension. On the actual USA edit nights, they clock in around 5 in the morning Fiji time to place the songs and get them officially cleared for the exact moment they're being used. A totally different group of people cook up the voiceover. For a normal show, even for this video, the episode gets edited to match the voiceover. But here, there's no time. Across the planet in the UK, voice of the show Ian Sterling and some writers get on a Zoom call, get shown the rough cut of the episode, and write and record narration to fit in. That narration, the music, and other finishing touches get baked into a final cut which gets sent to, for Love Island USA, Peacock's legal department and standards and practices, who confirm that the episode is all above board and that they didn't say too many times. They have a sliver of time to make any tweaks those teams demand, and then
you got to make sure the advertisers are happy. You know, that's really what it is. That's the bottom line. If they're not happy, then hey man, you ain't getting paid.
It's showtime. If all that sounds like a lot to happen in a day, it is. Luckily, they have a bit more than a day because Fiji is 19 hours ahead of the continental US, buying a few precious hours before their 9 p.m. Eastern airtime rolls around. And while that's more or less the post-production pipeline happening day in, day out to get the people the constant IV drip of Love Island that we so crave, there's also plenty going on behind the scenes in the villa to...
So it is filmed in Fiji, but it's filmed in Fiji because of, like, what is that? Time? I don't know, man. They're time jumping. These guys are time jumping. That's crazy.
Ensure that the Islanders make an episode's worth of good content on time every day. That's the responsibility of another set of producers who have the contestants at their mercy. There's a voice of God PA system throughout the villa that producers use to tell contestants, for example, to stop talking about copyrighted stuff they can't use in the show, or to wake up from the nap they're trying to take, or otherwise ensure that footage from the villa is usable and potentially interesting. They also keep the show's format intentionally loose, so if things are getting a bit stale on a given day, they, for example, have a holding villa full of other hot singles they can send into the show to shake things up. But perhaps the trickiest way producers maintain control of the Islanders and keep them on schedule is by making sure they never know what time it is. There are no clocks in the villa, and every device that does have a clock on it is set to a different time. With no one knowing what time it is, people rarely notice or object when, say, they film a recoupling until 4 in the morning and then get woken back up at 9:30 to make some more content the next day. And I know that from experience. My writers crank out these scripts way faster now that I make them live in a sensory deprivation tank. All to say, in some ways, Love Island is a plane that gets built in the air. It's edited on the fly, with producers making their best guess on what scenes and stories are going to matter long term, and contestants getting pulled in the direction of good content in a clockless panopticon. But they also meticulously plan for the chaos such that people in Fiji and England can make a show that airs daily for weeks in the US. And for Love Island UK, it happens on a smaller geographic scale, but also even faster. There's no 19-hour time difference helping them. Making the show is an all-consuming, all-hours endeavor, matched in challenge and required dedication only by the endeavor of watching every episode of the show.
So the UK is running 24 hours to get their shit out. They don't have a 20-hour time lapse where they can just that's where all the editing and everything gets done. That's how they're able to push it out the next day, or the same day, I guess, technically in US terms. But if the UK doesn't have that luxury, that means they're literally just either editing overnight, and there's people working graveyard shifts to get it out that fast, or it's on some kind of delay. But I mean, with how quickly things in the show seem to be going, then I guess they're working graveyard shifts, which is crazy.
Show. And to all who do either, thank you for your service.
Oh, that was it. Oh. Well, hey, and it was a good video. Check it out. Link in the description. Like the video. You know, it's what it is.